Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. On this episode, we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know on how to capture content at live events. We're going to be talking about why entrepreneurs and Amazon sellers need to do live content, how to do it, what platforms are best to look at when you're doing a live content, and also some content creation tools. So welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm.
All right, like I mentioned, today we're talking about the 5 things that you need to know on how to capture content at live events. Our guest is repeat, possibly even another repeat guest, social media and influence relationship. Let's try this again. Director of social media and incredible influencer at Helium 10. She's been making strides in organic social media for over a decade. Bringing her edge and expertise to community management, influencer relations, content creation, social strategy, and analytics. Wow. To Helium 10 social media storefront. Welcome our guest today, Cassandra Craven. But before we do that, let's have a word from our sponsor. Meet Sellerize, a must-have suite of tools to stay on top of your Amazon business. Get instant notifications on any listing changes, analyze review activity, monitor sales in real time. What about those hijackers, buy box lost, listing suppressions? Whatever happens, you'll immediately know. Sleep like a baby. Sellerize has your business under control, and get a free month trial by signing up with a coupon, Beard Nation. Just follow the link in the episode's description to get started now. Okay, let's bring on the boy wonder.
Hello. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
Good. Is your brother still with you?
He is. He is in the next door over. He's not leaving. He's set up shop and but he's leaving tonight. So
he is. Okay. All right. You guys behaved yourself last night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So what do we got to say, sir?
All right. So you guys know the drill. We're going to smash those like buttons, give us those thumbs up. If you know anyone who is maybe heading to Prosper, you can share this episode to them, tag them in the comments. We also have a great giveaway today, especially if you're going to Prosper. You get even something a little, it's not, I wouldn't say elevated, but you get something special if you're going to Prosper as well. So stick around for that. We'll give you all the details soon enough. And if you're new to the podcast, you can head over to our Lunch with Norm Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective.
Oh, what did you do now?
What did I do?
I'm hearing sirens. I'm thinking that they're going to come and get you.
Oops.
Or your brother.
Yeah, that's for Q. All right. So welcome, everyone. And I hope you enjoy the show. If you have any questions at all, I'm sure Cassandra and Norm will be happy to answer. And looking forward to it.
Okay. Because I'm excited about Cassandra, will you just get off the screen?
Of course.
Okay. Thank you. Out of here. All right. If you have any comments or questions, please throw them over in the comment section. We do have a sharp cutoff today at 1:00. So we'll do our best to answer everything. Get your questions in now. And also, if you do, or if you try to do content or provide live content, let's know what platform you're using and why. So sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee. I did, and enjoy this episode. Welcome, Cassandra.
Hey, Norm, how are you?
I am doing great. Other than, I almost missed my own podcast again.
Well,
oh my God, technology. I hate it. You know what I did? I got a new, this is my new laptop, but it's a couple years old. My old computer drove me nuts. And I did this. I didn't even do a video on this. I should have. I wanted to do it. It drove me nuts. I had a big SUV. I put it under the wheels, and I just kept going back and forth. And just crushed the heck out of it.
Did
It
you
was
really
just
do that?
fun. I did. I just
Oh my
wanted to do it. Yeah.
Why didn't you take a video? I feel like that would have gone viral.
Oh, I don't know. I was just more ticked off at my computer, and it just was a release.
I get it. I think you lived out a lot of people's fantasies when they're frustrated with technology and their laptops. So especially when you get the wheel of death during like a crucial moment of some sort.
New wheel of death. There we go.
That's a different wheel.
Okay.
Less fun.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, yeah. So how's it going with you?
Good. We are busy here at Helium 10. We are prepping for Prosper, Las Vegas, and all the exciting things to come.
Yes.
So yes, very excited. My head is spinning with all that will come up in the next couple weeks, but I cannot wait for it. How are you feeling, Norm?
I am doing great. I can't wait to get to Vegas. This is going to be Kelsey's first show. So yeah, we get to introduce him. Tim's already said that he's going to break him into Vegas. So,
oh no.
Oh my, I don't know what that means.
Emergency contact. Maybe we need some, accountability buddies kind of deal that in case something happens to Kelsey.
Couple defibrillators,
Just make sure he's hydrated and has a cell phone with a working battery. I think he's okay.
Oh my gosh. And this is when you don't do live content, by the way. It's a little bit different from today's episode, right?
Definitely take his passwords and any logins away.
Oh my gosh.
Once we cross the early morning hours of the events and things of that nature.
Yeah. So you've got a couple things happening over in Vegas. You want to touch on that before we get into this?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Norm, we are kicking off Prosper Week with an elite workshop that is on Sunday from 1 to 5. Tim Jordan will be speaking, Anthony from PickFu, as well as Vanessa Hung. Very excited to see their presentations. It's a great networking opportunity. We also have a lot of influencers, people in the space, thought leaders that'll be coming as well, in addition to our elite members. And then there'll be a lot of team members there. So if you want to network, get to know people, meet people in the person for a first time, especially things can get so chaotic, Norm. I know you know this, you're a veteran, at the parties, at the conferences, at the booths. So this is a really good opportunity to kind of have more of a low-key interaction to where you can actually have some conversations with people and get in touch with them. So that's a great networking opportunity for the kickoff of the week. Then we'll be at Prosper, showcasing our booth as always. I've heard unofficially from Yana and Destiny that the Helium 10 booth is the unofficial meetup spot. So mark that, everybody.
There we go.
So if you need help, if you need directions, if you lose Kelsey, you know where to find him. He'll be at the Helium 10 booth.
Just like when he was a kid.
Exactly. Well, it's perfect. You can't lose your friends. Everyone knows where it is. We'll be making content. It'll be perfect. It's a win-win, Norm.
All right. I got it.
Make sure he's present for our party that evening, Monday, March 14th. Mark McGrath, Sugar Ray, celebrity entertainment. Are you ready, Norm?
I'm ready.
It's going to be wild.
I'm going to get down with Mark McGrath. There we go.
Oh, I believe it. I do have, I don't want to make Kelsey jealous, but we're trying to get him to do some TikTok content. So we'll see what's up. We're running that through the powers that be now. So hopefully, cross your fingers, we get some good live content with Mark McGrath at this event.
Well, this is a nice segue.
I think so. Unplanned. I wasn't even rehearsing this.
There we go. So let's talk about live content. We hear about live content. We do live, like this is live right now.
Yep.
But what is the importance? What's the difference between live and just posting something? Like, why should somebody do it?
Well, definitely, I think, especially in this day and age, the key is FOMO. There's a lot of people that have a fear of missing out. A lot of people especially can't travel right now. And you want to make sure they feel like they're there with you, that they're experiencing it in real time. I think there's definitely something very unique and powerful about real-time content. It's off the cuff, it's unrehearsed, it's unedited, and people feel a part of it with you. So definitely if you have the opportunity to go live on Instagram, TikTok, it's really a wonderful opportunity if you're doing a podcast, maybe from the conference or while you're there with some people in person that maybe you wouldn't get to connect with otherwise. That's also a really great opportunity. I know that people often do like Facebook Lives and things of that nature as well, but really I think Instagram is kind of your go-to because it's so quick and it's kind of everyone's there scrolling, they're looking for content, they're already there, and it's just one of those quick and easy, make some context, get an interview, talk with people, and people can see what's going on live at the show, which is really cool.
Right. I think that is important. When people see the show and see actually what they're missing out on. There's a lot going on shows, and a lot of people can't make it. But when they see, like, let's say Prosper, for example, it might give them the boost that's needed to go to another show, or to, just get out there again and start, mingling. But there's something different about live content. There's a whole different aura about it, right? Like, you mess up. I mess up on this show at least 20,000 times each podcast. Yeah. But maybe that's why people watch it, to watch Norm, mess up. But
why I tune in.
Never you, Cassandra.
No, never.
But that's one of the great things about live content, because when you are doing it live, Tim is a pro at this. He doesn't flub up at all. Like, I sit there with him and we'll do something live. I'll mess up extraordinarily, absolutely crazy 20,000 times, and he'll just get it first take.
He's incredible. I don't know how Tim does it. He should have been an actor. Realistically, he should have been on like SNL or something like that. No, Tim's incredible. But I think that's also an element of fun, is that people like to joke around with each other. They feel more comfortable. It's just a fun, candid moment that people get kind of a bird's eye sneak peek into. And especially, like you mentioned, if you're looking at, do I want to go to more events? What are the events like? It's a really great opportunity to get that raw and real feel. I often go, one thing I often do with like restaurants, or if I'm checking out events and things of that nature, I go to the geo tags, because I like to see like what's happening, what's the real photos, not the, maybe the curated kind of things. So seeing those live videos really gives you an essence of what's happening. You can see the amount of people that are there. You're not just seeing kind of the stage photos or the group shots, that can give you a different allure or illusion of what's really going on. And so it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for people to engage with you. It's a fun element. Like I said, it gives people an inside peek, and I highly encourage it.
Yeah, I know for myself, I get very nervous in front of a camera. Very, very nervous.
That's crazy. I would never think that, Norm.
Absolutely. I actually, my other son's a musician, and when I first started doing this, I had to take these stage fright pills, because my hands would shake so much. It just looked, oh man, they thought I was dancing. But
I find that I find that hard to believe, though, because you're so natural on camera, and even you often make people feel really comfortable too, Norm. I feel like this is one of the podcasts that I feel the most comfortable doing, because you're so cool.
Well, thank you. And right back at you. But no, it is something, and I avoided doing live content. And Kelsey knows this too. There's just content that I can't just go on and start talking about. It takes time. And this doesn't matter if it's Amazon Live, or if it's this, or if it's at an event. But one thing I would just say is, if you're not comfortable in front of a camera, learn a little bit, go and test it out on your own video. And if you flub it, it's fine. It's just go for it. But don't do live because you're nervous to do live. You've got to get around that nervousness, or it'll just never happen. It's something you're going to miss out on. And as a brand, it's so important to build that brand culture around your live content.
Yep. Agreed. Well, and I will, to put some fears at ease, one thing that used to stress me out a lot is Instagram Live, because before, they never had an option for you to practice. It was like, you're either doing this or you're not. You're either live or you're not, which is incredibly terrifying, especially because it goes instantly. People are getting the notifications. And if you're there rehearsing or just checking your lighting or angles or whatever it may be, that can be a very daunting moment for many, including myself. So now the good thing is Instagram has added a practice rehearsal feature, which I think is awesome. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, Norm.
I haven't.
I highly recommend you do. You can practice, you can check your angles. You can also even practice how you connect with the person joining you on the live. So if there's one or two people that are going to be joining you from their accounts, you can practice with them and see how they connect. Because again, the element of surprise can be daunting. Like if you don't know, I like to know everything before I go live. I want to know where everything's at. And so if you don't know, it's very, it can be very nerve-wracking. So definitely having like a rehearsal or a practice session beforehand. Make sure you know all the logistics, mechanics of what you're doing within the app, and that can really ease your fears as well. I know you also mentioned, I think a good way, if you're not as comfortable on camera, a really good way to also start doing live content is just kind of walk through the events. Like, I think it's great to do kind of almost like a time lapse vibe of walking through the booths, talking to people, letting them wave to you kind of thing. I know that sounds really kind of basic, but it's actually really engaging, and people find it to be very, it's more candid, it's more real, it's more personable. And then let people who are more comfortable on camera do that work for you. They're going to say, hey, how are you doing? They're going to show off their booth. And that makes great content for you and your brand as well. Or if especially if you're a behind the scenes person more often than in front of the camera.
What are a couple of, I'm going to do a Connie Chung sort of moment right here. It's just between you and me.
I like it.
Are there any things right now, like when you're going live, that really bother you?
Okay. So bad angles would really bug me, because if you're not, it should still have an element of production. I think there should be an element of quality there, even though we're going for that candid, raw, and real feel.
Right.
You definitely want to make sure that you look good, and especially your guests look good. Lighting is crucial, Norm. Good lighting. You got to have good lighting. If it's too dark, I know a lot of, like, the conference is pretty lit up. It'll be lit, Norm. But the parties may be lit in a different way, and that means more dim light. So make sure that you're not going live at more of a, with darker lighting, or where it's in the dark, because then you're just it's kind of like watching concert footage. Like when someone's at a concert and they're showing you like this, all you're seeing is waving hands and a tiny little figure on stage. That's not that compelling. Unless you're front row. You better be front row if you're going to share that kind of content. So, really just kind of think about what the audience is seeing and what their perspective of it will be, and what will engage with them mostly. I think also taking questions from your audience. So if you're doing a live and walking around, get those questions going, especially people who can't be here. Maybe they want to talk with certain sellers, thought leaders, people in our industry, and they can ask their questions live right there. And again, that's fun. It can be either real talk, it can be some hard-hitting business questions, or it can be fun questions. What's your favorite color? What are you doing in Vegas? What are you most excited to do and see? So just keep it light and fun, but also get that information in there.
So there's different types, or there's different times when you should do live content. You can do it when you're at the event. You could do it on a podcast. You can do it just to announce something, walking down a trail.
Yep.
So what are some of the best ways, and I guess the different types of live content, and what are the best ways to utilize it?
That's a great question. So as you mentioned, a podcast. Bradley and Tim will be doing a live podcast from our booth, and I think that's an awesome opportunity to capture guests, again, that I mentioned that maybe they don't get to come through in your area, or maybe just scheduling conflicts, things of that nature. It's great to lock them down there. Again, there's that element of real time. You're in the same place. There's that similar camaraderie. So that's one type of live content. You can do podcast content, do a full episode, and really you can get ahead and knock out a bunch of episodes so that when you get back from Prosper, you're not behind. You just have to kind of edit it. You're ready to go. There's also Instagram Lives. I think that's a great opportunity, as you mentioned, if you're trying to make an announcement, or you're keeping people informed about your everyday happenings, what's going on. It's a great way to get people engaged. Testimonials are awesome. You can get people talking about their experiences live at the conference, at the event, especially if you're hosting something. You can get the real-time thoughts and feedback right there to your audience. And again, you can have the audience ask you questions and ask your guests questions as well. TikTok, I think, is a really interesting one that I haven't seen many people do in our industry recently. I think that going live on TikTok can be really engaging, especially with the algorithm. We always mention how it's a great winner for engaging with new audiences, new people. And I think going live there would be more of a Q&A, but you definitely want to keep it with a lot of people. You want to be more engaging. You want to have different faces. You kind of don't want, especially when you're at a live event, you don't want it to just be you talking to the camera. That's more of something you could do at, when you're at home or in your usual studio or office, whatever it may be. So really embrace all the unique content that you can get while you're at these events and on location.
Yeah, those are some great points. And again, I'm going to go back to, you got to just do it. Like this TikTok thing, I haven't done, you know what? We got to do something on TikTok.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah. Okay. And also, You've got to do something with Kelsey on his TikTok channel.
What's
It's
happening?
yeah, he's doing some really cool things over there.
Kelsey's incredible.
Nothing with me. Like, I think you might see my face once, but it's his channel. But it's his lunch with Norm from his perspective, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so relatable too, and I think that's also a really key ingredient to all of this. You have to be relatable. Especially if people aren't there with you. Make content that people feel that they can connect to while they're watching your live content. Ask questions, get them engaged, maybe from their perspective if they're unable to attend as well.
And it's not polished.
No.
And I just like on an Amazon listing, when you see a lifestyle photograph and then you see a polished image, I know when I post them in Amazon posts, the engagement always happens with the lifestyle.
Yep.
Yeah, or the benefits, but a polished image gets very few people engaging with it. They want to see that more raw look. So one of the other benefits to doing this, for us anyways, is taking that raw footage, okay, and then Kelsey will come back and he'll cut it up into small little segments and repurpose it. And the repurposing doesn't have to be on one platform. It could be on many platforms, and it could be put into, that could be a little, if it's on YouTube, you can embed it into a press release.
Yep.
You can embed it into a blog article. You can embed it anywhere you want, but there's so much that you can get in one snippet. You could probably, I'm sorry, not one snippet, but one
like montage, reel. Yeah. Agreed.
There's so much use out of it.
Oh, 100%. And Norm, excellent segue again. I was going to say, yes, there's live content. Yes, you can go on Instagram Live. But another element of live content is really taking those little snapshots, little video vignettes throughout the day and then putting it together at the end. I saw some great content come out of the seller cruise. A lot of people were sharing kind of day in the life. And I think that's really where a lot of influencers are going right now, a lot of day in the life content from TikTok. And really, it's easy to capture. You're doing little, you're panning around the events, you're panning around the venues, you're taking selfies, putting that together. And it's something that you kind of, you don't have to be doing that in real time because it's hard to edit it, put it together, match the sounds. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it's something that you can do at the end of the night, first thing in the morning, day one of Prosper, day two.
Yeah.
Document your travel. I think vlog content has really taken off. I know it's been a thing for a while, but I think more and more people like that bird's eye view. They like to see what your day in the life is. And like you said, it's real content. People are fascinated by when people get on the plane. I mean, Bradley does his leg room check. People love it. It's a thing. People like that real content. They like to feel that they're, a fly on the wall and seeing what your day-to-day is. And I think especially with something like Prosper and so many thought leaders and entrepreneurs in one space, that's definitely going to be beneficial content. And you can also tag them later. I know it's super beneficial as well as a social media connoisseur, if you will.
Guru,
connoisseur, I'll take all those adjectives, is when people make content and then you just get tagged in it. So now all the work has been done for you and you just get to share it, which improves their algorithm. It improves yours. It's branding. It's really a win-win. And just making sure that you kind of tap into those new concepts. As I mentioned, these are kind of day in the life concepts. We've seen it done before, but you can do that on TikTok as well. And there's different hashtags you can use. Our social media content creator, Sydney, as you see on TikTok, who will be collaborating with Kelsey.
Sydney 1 or Sydney 2?
Well, this is Sydney 1. Definitely
okay.
Sydney 1. And she was saying that she has a friend who actually started to go viral just by doing day in the life content. They're just little mini vlogs of her day in the life, lunch, work, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. Wow. The power of social media, Norm, the power of social media.
Yeah, I know Kelsey did a TikTok, and all of a sudden within the day he got 10,000 views. It was just
crazy.
What? And so why that particular one over the others?
I know it's really what hits. And I think it's also, it's trending sounds, it's algorithm. You can kind of drill down into what the niches of it all are. But sometimes it's just certain things resonate with people more than others, and it's all about timing. And I think Kelsey is he's mastered the TikTok algorithm. He's a guru now of TikTok.
Don't let him. His head just went boop, 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 boop. Now I might have to start paying them.
Well,
So
he deserves it.
yeah. Now let's talk about the platforms. So there's all sorts of different platforms out there. Where should people start, or let's just get into the different platforms? And you have hung. Cassandra Craven has
Yeah,
hung.
definitely, Norm. As we mentioned. Am I back?
Kels, is this me or is it Cassandra?
No, should I move it?
I think it's Cassandra, but this might be a great time for the Wheel of Kelsey talking about what's happening.
Oh, okay. So what's happening with the Wheel of Kelsey? Kelsey?
Let's go to Wheel of Kelsey.
Okay, very good.
Let's do Wheel of Kelsey.
So let's talk about the Wheel of Kelsey. What are we doing today for the Wheel of Kelsey, Cassandra?
Oh, we are giving away. So we have 2 different prizes depending on if you're going to Prosper or not. If you're at Prosper, we have a special giveaway that you can come and pick up at the booth. Very exclusive. It's about something that we'll be revealing more in the upcoming days. So you'll stop by and get that. But if you're unable to attend Prosper, we have a Helium 10 swag bag that we will ship to US and Canada winners.
Fantastic. And we have, of course, and this is global, but if you'd like, we're going to throw in a month of the Centurion League as well. So, Kelsey, what were you going to say?
So there's also one more giveaway that I haven't told you about, Norm, so I'm going to throw it in. So if you've been watching the last couple of episodes, you might notice that we've been posting a link for a fundraiser for Ukraine. And Rad has offered that if you we'll just do the honesty system. If you've donated to this fundraiser, we'll enter you into a draw. Just put #Ukraine, and Rad is going to give away a solar panel item from his product. So we're going to do a draw for it. So this is just honesty system. If you've donated, just let us know, #Ukraine. I'll put the link to the fundraiser if you want to donate during this episode. But yeah.
Okay, and
thank you, Rad.
I just want to say thanks a lot to Rad. That's incredible. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but there is a crowdsourcing link. My friend Colin Campbell started it, and his goal is to raise $1 million. The last time I checked, we were into about $125,000 over the last week. So yeah, please, if you want to donate, please do that. And Rad, that's incredible. Thank you so much. This is just, one reason why I love this community so much. Okay, so now we can get back. It looks like you're back, Cassandra.
Norm, well, first of all, we can make this a good segue as why you should have a hotspot when you're doing live content, so you don't have to rely on the glitchy Wi-Fi. But I actually come into Helium 10, so I have quality Wi-Fi, so I don't have to worry. And I feel like this is the second time this has happened. So I'm the only one here. Like, I don't even know what's going on here. But I'm happy that I'm back and not glitching out, and my Wi-Fi is, I think, stronger than ever. But please let me know, and always bring Kelsey in as my stand-in if I ever freeze again.
Oh, no problem. Kelsey, yeah, usually he has to stand in when my Wi-Fi goes down, which is pretty funny.
I've noticed if we don't move enough, sometimes I'm like, wait, did he glitch out? Did I? So I try to keep moving a little.
Oh, man. So the last question was about the platforms. What are the different platforms and how easy are they to use them?
Well, okay, so going off of this segue of the glitchy Wi-Fi, I would be concerned about using a StreamYard, especially in Las Vegas. I know that sometimes the hotel rooms, the Wi-Fi can, it's hit or miss. Even at some of the best places, I've had some like glitchy Wi-Fi. It's tough to connect to like Zoom calls, things of that nature. So I would be a little more concerned about StreamYard just because you usually need a strong Wi-Fi connection. But again, a hotspot is always a great backup plan, so you don't encounter any issues. But I'm a big believer, as we mentioned, in the in-app features. I really think you want to keep everything condensed to the app so you can have quick editing. Especially with TikTok, they make it so easy to save your drafts. And you want to make sure that you're not losing any of the content either. So you want to make sure that you have it either backed up, you want to have it saved to your phone, you want to make sure that you're saving those drafts so that you don't lose anything from all these crucial moments. So I'm a big fan of in-app content, making sure you have everything secured right there on your phone. But the key would also be, Norm, during all the parties and things like that, do not lose your phone, because that could also make for quite the issue later on if you lost your phone, among other worries. But that content would be gone.
Yeah. Well, just thinking about the phone being gone. Actually, Tim saved our butts a few times with, and this is a good note. And this is actually what just happened, right? The hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone out. He's bought a hotspot, and I think he uses a Verizon package. But anyways, I can link up. I can go live. I can do whatever because he's brought that hotspot with him. I've never had to buy that where I am here, but when I do travel, I'm getting back into it again, and we're doing more lives. I wasn't doing any lives 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. It just wasn't, I never had to worry about it.
Yeah.
Now it's something you might have to buy that little, hotspot just to be safe. But it's a tool that you need if you want to do it.
You want to make sure, exactly. And it's, you can, if you're going just live natively on Facebook, again, Wi-Fi can always be glitchy, and it's really, that's not quality content for anyone, yourself or your audience. And especially if you're glitching out, if you're freezing, if it has load times, people are just going to tune out. And if it's too much of a bad connection, they're just going to eventually kind of, say, oh, I'm going to skip over that live content. Doesn't seem to be very, very good quality. So you want to make sure that you're equipped with all the proper equipment. As I mentioned, lighting is one of my pet peeves when people have bad lighting. So if you're doing an interview, if you have an on-the-go ring light, I think that's super important. Definitely a podcast stand, a little, tripod that you can have for your phone or for, your camera equipment if you're doing more high quality HD. So you want to make sure you have all those things, especially if you're, want to come out of this with high quality content or a little more, like you said, more polished versus that raw and real that we're going for.
And, you can use your camera or your iPhone or whatever. I mean, the cameras are very good right now, and they do have ring lights, and they, like you said, but and a lot of people don't know this, like what I use for my, my HD streaming, it's a camera called Mevo.
Ooh, tell us more.
Oh, I will. But you can have a multi-camera setup. I don't, because then I have to hit, I have to do one extra thing, and I can't multitask. So anyways, but you can have 2, 3, 4 different cameras set up. Yeah. They're all 4K, and they're cheap. And you can bring them anywhere you want. They're very small. It might be 2 inches by 3 inches, shaped a little different than a typical Brio camera or a Logitech camera. Logitech just bought them, but I've been using them for a little while, and you can go live. You can record on them. They have a what is it called? A memory slot.
Oh, okay.
So but they have a full system in house that you could just set up a tripod, set it up, get going, and you've all of a sudden got a studio in front of you. It's fantastic. So it's Mevo cameras, and you can check out their website. It's something that very few people really know. I heard about it from Rob Burns.
Rob's incredible. He knows all the insider info.
He knows the ins and outs. That's for sure.
He's incredible. And I also, one thing I also wanted to touch on, Norm, as you're talking about, all this camera setup, and if you do have, ring lights and tripods and multi-camera angles, things of that nature, this is a really great time also to capture testimonials for your brand.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great way that you kind of control the setup, you control the lighting. I think especially when we were in, lockdown times, people were recording things on their phones or, sending you selfie style, testimonials and things of that nature. But I think it's also a really great time to get some questions in there, what people think of your brand, get some promos in there. You can get like people saying, hey, I'm Cassandra Craven, and catch me on the Lunch with Norm podcast that you can use for future evergreen content to promote your podcast in the future or your brand. That's something we'll be doing. So if you stop by the Helium 10 booth, Norm, I'm going to get you and Kelsey. So get ready with your CTAs. So I think that's a really important one. And then here's another one, Norm, that I feel like is a huge high priority, especially like coming out of lockdown life. Get some headshots. Get headshots of people, because we often have been recycling a lot of content from what's already previously done. Maybe it's not the best quality photos, or you need something refreshed. People are always welcome to get a good photo, and then that can be repurposed for future content. So especially with so many people, like on Helium 10, we do AMAs, we do webinars, we do podcasts. We have so much coming up and so much going on. Definitely getting some variety in there with your headshots is always a great opportunity to capture fresh content as well.
Right. Now, let's talk about some of the content creation tools. Like we've talked about some equipment, like Mevo, but what are some of the tools that we could use to help ease and make things more seamless? Do you have any favorites?
Actually, you know what I just discovered? Okay, so I was getting served these ads for 3D photos in my Instagram algorithm, and I was so curious about checking it out. And it seems so, 3D photos, like what is it? You're basically turning any, not stock photo, but static photo into a 3D image, and it has it move, and you can capture all the elements in the background. So if you're at a club, the lights, all that. And I think that's really cool, because I think it's something that I've seen people put in their stories. They put on their in-feed Instagrams or Facebook, and you're always thinking, oh, how do I do that? Like, do I need like a content creator? Do I need like a videographer to create this? Like, how are these being made? And I think anything that you're looking for, there's an app for that. I think anything that you want to create some unique content for, if you're looking for different filters, if you're looking for more high quality, things to differentiate your brand from, that's what I think you should go to, is look for any app that you can make something stand out that people aren't doing. So especially with like 3D photos, like I said, I kept getting served all these ads for different apps. The one I've been using now is called Dizzy, Dizzi, and it creates any static photo becomes a 3D photo with motion. And I think that's also super powerful for the Instagram algorithm, because they often favor video views get higher engagement than just typical video likes, like anything that you can, or excuse me, static photo likes. So because the barrier to entry is less, it's lower. You don't have to actually go and make hit the like or comment or save it. You have to go and you're just viewing it. So the views rack up a lot faster, especially as people share the content and tag other people.
Is there any way that you can get more engagement or get more people? Like when we started the podcast, I was saying, Kelsey, we're going to be talking to ourselves. And, pretty much did. I think, we had a couple people on talking to ourselves. But how do you grow the audience when you go live? Are there any techniques that you use?
Definitely like to promote ahead of time. If you know that you have something planned, you definitely want to get that going on your Instagram stories. If it's going to a different location, we've often done, YouTube AMAs, things like that. When I go on the Lunch with Norm podcast, I put the link in my Instagram story so people can just click and go. So you want to make sure they know the destination ahead of time, because I think that can also be a barrier to entry. If you're kind of like, okay, where am I going for this live? Is it on YouTube? Is it on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Like, where is this happening and when? I think if also people know the content that's coming up and what the discussion points are, that's a really great way to get engagement, so that they know what they're tuning in for. They're more likely to tune in, and they're more likely to stay for the duration of the live. As I mentioned, like submitting questions ahead of time. That's something I love to do when we have influencers, thought leaders, experts that come on our AMAs, our podcasts, or just webinars, things like that. If we want people to be asking questions about, certain topics, we've done like a Kian Golzari recent sourcing series that's gone in our YouTube series that we're collaborating with. And we often put on our Instagram before he makes his live content, what questions do you want to know about sourcing? What questions do you want to know about the supply chain, Lunar New Year, all these things. And it really helps people have a connection to the live content, so that they're waiting for their question to be asked, or they know that they'll be taking live questions during the live Q&A, so that people are more apt to turn in, again, stay for the duration, so you don't see that drop off throughout the whole broadcast.
If anybody has any questions about going live, techniques, anything at all, just let us know. I'm noticing that we've got lots of comments coming in, but you've got to have questions, and Cassandra's here. She's the one to ask. So regardless of what the question is, just make sure you ask it now. And especially if you are going out to more and more events right now, This is not something for just a podcast host and the guest. If you've got a brand on Amazon, it is so, or anywhere, it's so important that you start to get the message out. It could be at the pet expo if you're selling pet products and you're going and you're talking to not your competitors, but the different manufacturers, people who are following you. There's all sorts of different ways to use live content. And one of the ways, testimonials. How can you beat that? And Rob, talking about Rob Burns, he does this in a semi-live when he goes out and he does his market reviews, right?
Oh, nice.
And he'll set up, on Venice Beach. He's already got 10 prepared questions.
Yep.
You could do that too. Like you can have 10 prepared questions to ask people. And all he does is he gets their real emotion. Here, try this product. And boom, he starts, one question, 2 questions, 3 questions, and you get their real emotion. And what he does from there, so this is going along the same line as being live, is you have a product video.
Yep.
And you have your live. And now you can start taking that and repurposing and making hybrid versions with the two together.
Yep.
And you can get tons of content. He's a master at this, where he has, for 30 days, he could take not for 30 days, for about 6 months, he can take 2 videos and just cut and cut and cut and cut. And he can have enough content for 30-second video or rich media for months. It's crazy what you can do with this stuff.
It's incredible. One thing we did last year, Norm, at Prosper was we did roving reporter, which was something we actually, just me and the team, kind of decided to do on the fly. So we grabbed a mic and we went from booth to booth and interviewed people. And that content, like even now looking back as promotional content for this year, was so valuable. You think you're like, oh, what did we even do with that? And it's, 6 months later, here we are. It became part of our hype reels and everything to get promotion. There's so much that you can do and repurpose for it, especially not with just, the event recycling by year after year, but for other events, especially if you're hosting something or you're sponsoring an event or even just attending for your own brand image. It's always great to have this content. My favorite question, Norm, as I'm sure you'll love to hear, is I often ask people their real thoughts on Tim Jordan. That's usually my finish. I'll usually say, but what do you really think of Tim Jordan? So, and again, I pulled the Connie tongue. It's just me and you. Let's
yeah.
So I have a whole vault of answers there. I'll have to share with you at another time, a different podcast.
Yeah, maybe even not a podcast.
just a dinner or something.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's get down to the do's and don'ts. What should you do? Yes, Kelsey.
Before we get to that, we should throw it over to a sponsor and then jump back into it. So I'm going to just interrupt you guys. And
you're so good.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Just a second.
As you know, at Lunch with Norm, bigger is always better. Bigger business, bigger profits, and yes, bigger lunches. Z wants to make sure that your business and profits are bigger by taking you and your business international. They are a one-stop importer of record shop, including compliance and logistics services. They focus on all the elements involved in a smooth first-time custom clearance so that you can focus on what you're good at, selling. Click on the screen now or follow the link in the description box below and get 50% off your first shipment today. And we're back. Okay.
I love that B-roll. It's so good.
Well, thank you.
These ad rolls are awesome. Norm, you're a natural at this. I honestly, I'm always in awe of the broadcast that you and Kelsey put on. It's so incredible, and watch it evolve over the years. It's so good.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we do put a lot of time into this. Well, Kelsey does.
You make it look easy. You make it look like, honestly, you guys are naturals. This is high quality. This is exactly what we talk about, Norm. There's quality here. There's logos, there's production elements, but also we're candid. We're raw and real. And that's the best of both worlds, Norm.
We just want to make it raw and real. It's the only way to go.
The only way to go. The only way to go.
So like I was saying about the do's and the don'ts, there's probably a lot of do's and there's probably even more don'ts.
Yes. Well, I would say my number one do plan content. You definitely want to make sure you have some questions ready, or just a vague idea of what you want to do, so you're not going in there blind. As we mentioned, there is a great element of being candid and off the cuff, and that's always fun, but you want to know what you're going into. You want to know what the setup is, or where you plan to record content, how you want to record content, some questions you want to ask, kind of what the parameters are, if you will. You can always, if you're doing just kind of some shots, some panning around the, events or conference, things like that, that can be a little more laid back, a little less curated, but having a shot list is definitely important, especially as we mentioned for testimonials, if we want to get headshots, even if you're just trying to get some photos with, group shots and other thought leaders and experts in the entrepreneurial community. You want to make sure you kind of have that shot list ready to go, especially if you're working with a team, because Norm, I'm sure, being the celebrity that you are, you get swamped with people. It's hard to, you can't juggle it all. So having someone, to have your back and make sure you get that content, get those photos, very important. So, it's hard.
I pay Tim to follow me around.
Yes. Tim, I think he's the best person for it, honestly. So definitely have Tim follow you around. Number one, I would say my biggest don't would be if someone doesn't want to be on camera, do not force them. I feel like you're not going to get the content you want, or you also want to make sure that timing is everything. So when I say that, like if someone's doing a big presentation, they probably got a lot on their mind. Maybe that's not the best time to catch them off the cuff on a live, Instagram or something. Just kind of be cognizant of what's going on around you and for others, because we have so much, I think there's so many people that are there for so many different purposes. And you just kind of want to be cognizant of everyone, everyone's priorities and things like that. So when you see someone that's on that same wavelength, ready to go live with you, ready to answer some questions, I say go for it. But if, you can tell their time is a little split, no one's going to benefit from that content. It's just going to look forced. It's going to look rushed. And you're probably not even going to want to recycle it later.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, don't fake it. If don't fake you're going live, like don't talk to the person ahead of time. And I mean, you can, that's a different setting though.
Yep.
But if you're going and you're getting candid reactions, and this could be for an event, or I'm thinking more of those marketplace reviews, right? Yeah. You can't sit there already tell the person the question and get them ready and prepped for it, and then make it look live or like they're surprised, because most people can't act surprised.
No, and I think the worst is if someone calls you out on it in these, in the social media of today, and people are very vocal about their opinions. People can spot a fake, Norm. They can spot a fake from a mile away, and you don't want to be one of those people.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. There's probably a few other things that come to mind when it comes to like the do's and the do nots. I'm thinking about the do nots. You don't want to, like I said, you don't want to be fake. If people, like you said, don't want to be on camera, don't force them to be on camera. But also, don't overwhelm your stay.
Good one. Yep. Agreed.
I think if it's a 30-second, cut it to 30-second. If it's, 5 minutes, make it 5 minutes, but just don't drag it on, because you're going to lose viewers and it's going to look crappy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially, like again, it's all about people can spot, they know what's genuine. People know what's real. And if, like you said, if people are being forced, or it's kind of like you said, dragging on, people are just going to lose interest. Move on to the keep people engaged, keep people interested. I also think, and I don't know how, I know things can be different for like different brands and different status levels and things like that. But what I've noticed also with these big conferences is certain filming and things like that. Like I think a lot of stuff on the phone is pretty okay. But when you try to come in there with your, big HD equipment, sometimes, you want to read the rules ahead of time when you're attending and what kind of the regulations are, because, oftentimes they have the proprietary, rights to all the video content and things like that they'll be repurposing from the host of the conference versus a third party, releasing it ahead of time. So you just want to make sure that you're also on par with any regulations from the event that you're attending. That's a great point. Go to a Kevin Hart performance and try to do some, you know, live filming during his performance, and you'll find out very quickly. Yeah, you're going to find out pretty quickly when you're kicked out that's not allowed. By the scruff of the neck. You definitely want to make sure before you go in there with your large cam and, high quality content. I mean, oftentimes phone content is encouraged and allowed. But even, I don't know, now we're getting off topic. I was going to talk about Bruno Mars in Vegas. He exclusively makes everyone put their phones in like a lockbox for his Vegas concerts. Isn't that interesting? Maybe we should start doing that, Norm. Maybe we should have like no phones allowed.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I that's too bad because it takes away the experience. But I understand why they do it too.
Yeah.
They've got proprietary stuff that's being released and they don't want it to be blasted out there.
Yep.
But I think we've got a bit of time left. I know we've got a hard stop. So let's take the 2 questions, Kels.
Cool.
All right. So first one is from Vincenzo. Vincenzo's asking, do you recommend a tool such as StreamYard that allows you to allow live streams on Instagram and TikTok?
I mean, I always recommend StreamYard. We're using it now. I love it. I think as we talked about, make sure you have a hotspot or some good Wi-Fi connection because you don't want to glitch out. Both TikTok and Instagram allow you to go live through their apps natively. I'm personally not a fan of blanketing the same content everywhere. I like to drive content to one platform or one channel. So I would say pick what you're most comfortable with and have content streaming live on that platform, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Pick what you're most comfortable with or where your audience is and what you find to be most engaging.
Okay. Next.
Also want to specifically with StreamYard, I don't think they have the ability to stream on Instagram and TikTok. You can do it to Facebook page, Facebook group, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I think it gets a little complicated when you're trying to like manually set it up. So
so that's what I would say. Pick a platform that you want to go on, or like you said, when you plug into LinkedIn and Facebook simultaneously, something of that nature. But I would definitely use the in-app features for Instagram and TikTok.
Cassandra, do you see who's in our audience today?
Oh, who's in our audience?
Wilfred.
Oh my goodness. How exciting.
Yeah, he spoke at one of your live events just recently.
Yes, he spoke at one of our elite workshops.
Yeah. So how's it going, Wilfred? He was on the podcast just the other day. It was fantastic.
He is he's so informative. He's so engaging. One of my favorite presentations.
Do you know, and I wasn't going to mention this, but Wilfred has got a course that's going to be launching. And I had no idea he was going to be here, but it's all about social medias, what to do, what not to do. And I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to take a look at it. I think it's releasing anytime soon. But if you want to learn more about social media, Wilfred's the guy to learn from. So anyway, other than you, Cassandra.
Well, of course, but I'll be signing up too. I'll be signing up. I learned, we learn from each other. That's how this community works.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yep.
So anyways, I just saw him flash up here. So I just wanted to give him a shout out.
I'll be signing up for his course.
All right. So our other comment, our other comment was from Wilfred, who was just giving us a little tip for those people that are camera shy. Record your live and broadcast your recording. Of course, you can't do a live Q&Q or a Q&A, but you can always pre-record too. Okay, and then I think that's it for questions.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know if you are heading to Prosper. We will be there, and we'd love to meet our Beard Nation too. So definitely, you can message us either through the Facebook page here, message us on Facebook. Yeah, we'd love to have lunch with you or a lunch with Norm, maybe. Huh?
Yeah, and there is that opportunity too, where we're taking a bunch of people out to lunch, and not to White Castle, but a nice spot, and we'll Tim Jordan, myself, Kelsey. We'll be taking a bunch of people over and just having a nice meal and chat. So
very cool.
I think it's that time. I think it's time for Kelsey. I think it's that Will.
All right. And before we do, we're going to throw it over to the sponsor, and we'll be right back.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together.
All right, let's head over to the Wheel of Kelsey, everyone.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right.
Such a good intro.
So we're going to shuffle these up and we'll give it a spin. If you are the winner today, please email me, kate@lunchwithnorm.com. We do this session every podcast. We give something away, and our winner is Manny.
All right, Manny. Now, if you're not going, I don't think Manny is. If you're not going to the Prosper Show, there's a gift for somebody going, and there's a gift for somebody that's not going. That's correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. And also, Manny, that's a free month over at the Centurion League. So there we go. That's it, Cassandra.
Very exciting. I always have a blast with you, Norm. I can't wait to see you in person. Can't wait to meet Kelsey. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And like usual, you're always awesome when you come on, and can't wait to have you back.
Oh my gosh. I know you gotta slow my roll though, because I feel like I've been so close in my appearances lately. I gotta spread it out a little more.
Oh, no way.
Well, okay, then if you insist.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Cassandra. We will see you later.
Bye. Mwah.
Yeah. Bye. Okay. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. I always, have a blast with Cassandra when she comes on. And this Friday, this is, I can't believe he hasn't been on here before, but I'm going to be joined by a really good friend of mine, Scott Dietz. And the guy's awesome. He knows his stuff. He's going to be talking about what you can do today to get a premium exit valuation tomorrow. Now, you hear it all the time. I've got some really great people that have been on here talking about that. But Scott's got a way of telling you how to do this in a way that it's different than a lot of people, how they explain it. But he's just really cool. He makes it easy to understand. And if you're looking to maximize your valuation, you got to tune in. All right. So, Kelsey, where are you?
All right. Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into today's episode. Like we said, we'll be in Prosper. So if you are going to the Prosper Show, we will be there. So come say hi if you see us walking through the streets. And yes, don't forget to smash those like buttons. Give us those thumbs up. If you aren't a member yet, you can go over and join our Facebook community, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. That's where all the fun happens. We've got a great crew over there. That's our Beard Nation. And I think that's it. If you have any questions at all, if you'd like to see a topic or a certain guest on the podcast, just let us know. You can either comment it during one of our lives or email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com. I love getting to talk to our listeners and the Beard Nation. So, or if you just want to say hi and connect, let me know, k@lunchwithnorm.com. And I think that's it.
And don't forget, we've got that really awesome gift that Rad's giving away for anybody in our audience that has given to the Ukraine fund that we've set up. So anyways, once again, Rad, you're awesome. Thank you for doing that. I had no idea before the podcast that you were doing it. So thank you so much. That's really cool of you. Okay, everybody. So join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And like I always say, we love this community. Rad's one of those people that just proves we've got such an awesome community. Anyways, we could not do this without you. Thank you. We'll see you Friday and have a great Wednesday.
Lunch with Norm.